What's up, everyone? It's your boy Crypto ZX back at it, and we're going to be taking a look at Vechain together, really analyzing, the price and understanding, what we're looking at and how important this specific bounce really has been for Vechain. Of course, then I will, pull out the charts and kind of explain to you guys, give you guys the visuals as to what we're really referring to. But let's take a look at, the broader market. As we are going into Saturday morning, majority of the market's still green, but we're seeing a little bit of a minor pullback over the last 1 to 2 hours. And of course, that's something we need to keep in mind. But just a continuous reminder, we need to take a look at, what's happening with the crypto space over the course of the last 1 week. And when you look at it from that perspective, that is where excitement really kicks in. But VeChain is up 17% over the course of the last, 2 to 3 days, which again is quite an impressive move. So it is pretty much reacting to the broader market. Right now, we're looking at one VeChain currently trading at around 2.43 cents. As mentioned, we're down about 1.5% in USD, and if you're looking at it on Bitcoin comparative, we're also down about 1.4%. Now, if you're looking at the market cap holding really strong around the $2 billion, to be exact, around 2.1 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $66.8 million. But I want you guys to, keep in mind, we are obviously entering the weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual as CME futures are closed. But before we get into any further, though, as always, just a quick disclaimer for everyone. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So at this point, if you follow the ZX channel, you guys probably know at this point that, we are not going to ignore the index. And what I mean by index is, the dominance index. And you can clearly see this for yourself. We still have not seen dominance retesting the likes of the 65.12%. And if you hold altcoins, whether it's VeChain, XLM, whatever the case may be, if you hold altcoins, this is what you want to see happening. And it's pretty much simple as that. It's not rocket science. And right now, you're seeing exactly that. Usually you start to see strength occurring, especially when BTC has moves like the one that it has seen, but yet you're seeing, dominance pretty much holding around the 64.6%, and we actually wicked down to the likes of 64%, which is amazing to see. And I have pretty much said this throughout my channel, pretty much over the last 24 to 48 hours, that I personally believe that, we are going to fill this level at the 64%, but we got to take it one step at a time. If that does happen, I think altcoins could really see some excitement. But enough with that. Let's really analyze and take a look at, what's happening with VeChain right now. So you can clearly see this for yourself since the beginning of this month. Let's actually go back down at the beginning of the month. You can see, we were sitting at around, 2 cents mark. If you picked up VeChain around that level, we're looking at an increase of about 30%. But with that said, even though, we're seeing, some quite impressive moves, there's no doubt that 30% is not a small move by any means. It's quite a decent move, but we still have long ways to go. And what I mean by that is we're still stuck in that bear market consolidation. And in my personal opinion, you end that for VeChain once you enter the 78.6. Simple as that. Everyone has their own ways of looking at VeChain, of course, analyzing it. Obviously, everyone has their own targets, but I pretty much keep it simple and I keep it realistic as well. The 78.6 remains to be a very, very important key level, because this is where, once we broke below the 78.6 back in 2022, this is where the bear market zone started. And since then, only time the price of VeChain has re-entered the 78.6 was just last year, and we know what happened last year. So it's simple as that. So if we were to kind of zoom out right now, even though we're seeing a 30% increase, it seems like nothing has happened on the chart, and that itself tells you we have long ways to go. But remember, again, VeChain is another blockchain that is building, that has real world use case. A lot of big enterprises around the globe that are using the VeChain Thor blockchain, which itself shows you that this really has that real world use case and has interest. And of course, in terms of marketing aspect, I don't know if the VeChain team was watching my videos last bull market, because if you've been with me over the course of the last few years, I haven't just started making VeChain updates now. I've been making them for quite some time. But one criticism that I gave VeChain every single time last cycle was that their marketing is not at the level where you need to see. And I'm not sure if my video reached a team member or something, because they have really, taken that quite seriously. And pretty much since that life cycle, we have seen a huge shift in the marketing aspect. Even if a project has that real world use case, has big enterprises using it, at the end of the day, for the native token itself, hype factor still plays a huge role. And right now, of course, we know Vechain is partnered with UFC, which is huge. Vechain logo is pretty much plastered everywhere whenever there's a UFC fight, which tells you that these guys are making moves in the right direction. So if you're looking at the price of Vechain right now, obviously we want to really break out of this key resistance around the 3.4 cents mark. That's primarily the main target that I want to be looking at for now. Obviously, we do have significant amount of hurdles coming in our way, but we're looking at about a 40% increase for us to reach that. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. We would need to break out of the range around this 2.6 cents. I think that would pretty much open the door for us to start pushing up to the May levels. And of course, if we break out of the May levels, that could really bring in some excitement, and we could start talking about some of the higher time frames. But we got to take it one step at a time. Yes, when you see excitement coming into the crypto space, we are always start focusing on the highest price target, but that's not what you want to be doing. We got to take it baby steps, pretty much step by step. But do let me know in the comments down below what you guys personally think. Thank you for all your support. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that red subscribe button. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.